The following video is for adults only. Viewer discretion is advised.
There has to be something I can find in here that I can use to entertain myself as the storm passes. Man, when was the last time I was even up here? I don't even think there's anything... Wait a minute. What's that?
Hello everyone. I can explain. So, caressing my hibernating bear, do you know what this show is, dear viewer? It's okay, you can tell me. I don't kink shame, I do judge though. I didn't know about this show until I watched a fucking Poppy Playtime interview. Michael Kovach is a voice actor who's been in a lot of indie stuff. He was Angel Dust in the Has-Been Hotel pilot, and in Murder Drones, Jackson the Amazing Digital Circus. He also voiced Doughy the Dome Man and a few other characters in Poppy Playtime. I was watching an interview with Michael with this guy named Derek Strong. A link to the interview is in the description if you're curious, and at one point in the interview, Michael said he did a hentai, and he mainly did it because of a friend, and just to say he did one. And you know what? That's fucking awesome! Put me in one. Put me in one. Anyway, him saying that took me really off guard because I've never heard anyone talk about it. You'd think people would talk about the guy voicing Jax from the Amazing Digital Circus doing a porn, but alas, I guess not. So if no one else will do this task, it is up to me! I will do what none of you insolent cowards could ever do, and talk about this show! I googled the show and I did find stuff about it, but it wasn't a lot, and I've never heard anyone talk about the show, and you know what, that's probably because it's a hentai and people don't want to talk about that, but you know what, that just sounds like pussy talk to me. And I'll admit that I may or may not have been a little horny and wanted to watch the show when I first found out about it. I wanted to see what it was about, so I bought it on Blu-ray because you know what? I love physical media! It turns me on! Guys, I'm gonna level with you. I don't know what I'm doing with my life right now. What the fuck is wrong with me? I watched the whole show, but instead of being horny watching it, my review-ass brain started reviewing the porn, and then I got to thinking that it would be kind of funny to make a video about reviewing it as if it's a normal show. I'm also just gonna say that before we start, this was my first time ever watching anything like this, so keep that in mind, you fucking freaks. Alright, let's get started. So we start off the show with a dead woman, and I'm pretty sure this is one of only 2 women in the entire show. This dude named Noah finds this dead woman with a child next to it, and the child is named Irie. Noah decided to start taking care of Irie, and one day Noah has to go through hibernation. When he wakes up, Irie is all grown up and really down bad for him, and the show is about their relationship. So, you know, right off the bat, kind of a weird premise. The basic lore of this world seems to be that there are animal people. They look like people with a few animal traits, but they can also turn into animals. But they're also not like normal humans since they still have animal instincts and age differently. Like later in the show, we find out that they can lose control and turn into their animal form, or they can get into really bad heat if they don't have sex. Which, you know, same, but that's not as intense. Since they're animals, at least in some way, it's kind of hard to hold them to the same standards as people. I don't think they even say how old Noah is, but it can't be that much older than Irie, I would assume. But it's weird because even though they're not related in any way, and in fact they're different species, Noah raised him and even said he thought of him as a son until he woke up from his hibernation. There's like a whole plot point in the show where Noah doesn't even know what to think about their relationship because he acknowledges that it's really fucking weird and everyone just says not to think about it that much. Which I guess, yeah, but unfortunately I have to think, how else will I understand the complexities of the Pikmin lore? Why didn't they just have Noah and Irie be friends and then decided they were kind of into each other? Did we really need the whole gray area dead mom hibernation thing? Well, probably actually, considering the type of show this is. Irie's dead parents are never brought up after the first episode, which I feel like could have been interesting to explore Irie's feelings on his parents being dead, but everyone knows horniness makes you forget all of your life's problems. This show is not what I thought it was going to be. I really need to preface, this is not what I thought it was. I expected it to be cute couple stuff with occasional raunchiness. In reality, the show is half gay sex. And I really didn't do that much research, to be honest. The show is very gay. But you know what? It works for me because I'm a fucking fat... Fabulous person. Well, wait, that's just narcissistic. God damn it. Like I said earlier, there were only like 2 women in the show, and one of them is dead before we even meet her. I didn't know this show was as horny as it was, so I got a lot more than I bargained for. Now, the raunchiness I don't have a problem with, although after a while it can feel like a lot. Like, the entire show isn't just sex. There's character stuff that happens, emotional beats, and some jokes too. All that is in the other 50% of the show. While I was watching this show, I kept thinking that every episode didn't need to have a sex scene. Give these poor men a break. We need time to recover, you know. I mainly just wish there was more cute couple stuff so I could really care about the relationships in the show. Don't get me wrong, there is some really cute stuff, but it feels like there should have been more of that. But this is me trying to review this as a show and not a porn, so honestly, I should be happy with what I got. In retrospect, I really should have just watched a gay rom-com. Ignoring all the weird stuff about how Noah and Irie got together, they are cute. There are some weird moments with them, though, having sex, and they're in heat, and they're both like, they keep apologizing to each other and saying stop and stuff, but they're both clearly enjoying it, and they say they're in mating season. It's weird. Why is it like this? Why is this so weird? Besides that, though, and ignoring the whole weird circumstances on how they got together, like the show tells you to do by not thinking about it that much, they are cute. I will admit, I found myself awing at a few scenes. Near the end of the show, we find out Noah doesn't like turning into his animal form in the city because before Irie, this dude got scared and his animal instincts kicked in, and he turned into his animal form and he almost killed this kid, but then Noah turned into his bear form and saved the kid, and he tried to help the kid calm down, but the child was too scared, so he wouldn't, and Noah thought the child was scared of him. I thought they were going to do a twist where Noah was actually the one that lost control and almost killed the kid, but this happens when there's like 2 episodes of the show left, and they probably wouldn't have time to cover that. Anyway, Noah reads a letter the kid made for him, who's an adult now, I think. I seriously don't understand how ages work in this show. Anyway, he thanks Noah for saving him, and he feels better. Well, that's not very fair. Why can't someone give me a letter that cures all my life trauma? Hey, what's this? Fuck. You probably noticed by now that I haven't really talked about any characters in the show besides Noah and Irie, and that's mainly because there aren't any. This show is very short. The episodes are only like 10 minutes long, and there's only like 9 of them. You can watch the whole show in like an hour or so. Everything is pretty focused on the 2 main characters. The only prominent side characters there are in the show are Ko and Watery, and they're actually really cool. I wish we got to see more of them. They're also dating, but there's none of the weird gray area stuff in their relationship, and they're cute. Give me a spin-off with them. Ko was friends with Noah and raised Irie while Noah was hibernating, but besides a very brief instances, Ko's relationship with them isn't really explored at all, and he's just a side character for Noah and Irie to talk to about their life problems and sex life. Watery doesn't really have a connection to any of the characters besides Ko. Despite their lack of screen time, though, I really like them and wish we got to see more of them. The show ends with Noah and Irie becoming official boyfriends, and that's the show. The Blu-ray comes with an on-air and uncensored version of the show. I obviously watched the uncensored because I ain't no fucking pussy-ass bitch, but I did skim the on-air version. I was very curious how they were going to censor everything because gay sex is like half the show, and it seems like their solution was to just not show it. They just put up a picture telling you to go watch the uncensored version, and that's really funny. Also, credits play during the ending of the episode instead of having its own credit sequence like in the uncensored version. The Blu-ray also comes with some extras, which is always appreciated. There are some storyboards and 2 trailers. The best extra is a music video and song called Holding Hands and Sharing Warmth with Noah and Irie, and it actually slaps. Lastly, we can just go over some general things about the show. Animation is very nice, so you horny bastards can enjoy it. Voice acting was pretty good. There was this one goat guy that worked at a library that sounded weird, but he only had like 2 lines and was in 1 episode, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm also not sure if sounding weird is what they were going for, or if I'm just being a dick. Oh god, am I a goat racist? I gotta make an apology video. Actually, you know what? Fuck goats. If you're a goat and you're watching this video, you suck. Lastly, music was pleasant, and that is Caressing My Hibernating Bear. Weird, but I'm glad I watched it for the experience. I guess I just reviewed a porn hentai thing because this is my life, apparently. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go look in the mirror and think about my life decisions for a while. But remember to smash that subscribe button. No. No, what are you doing? No. No, not like that. No, 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 no.